Alrighty, folks, we're hitting at 90% in our last 11 chairman package picks on my premium page. And the good news is we have another chairman package pick going off here this evening. And if you sign up for that package here today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be all included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that chairman membership, it's a full access, all-inclusive package. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do on the free videos and what I do on my premium site. Well, what I do here on the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my premium page is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. I'm 2-0 my last two underdog tier package picks, 2-0 my last couple of NFL tier membership plays. And finally, folks, once again, I'm hitting at 90% my last 11 chairman package picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have plays going off in all of those memberships here today. It's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Bulls, Sixers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Philadelphia's minus 11, totals 227.5. And despite this Rager, we just made up a word, Rager. Is that kind of like Rager? Yeah, let's try that again. Philadelphia, they're minus 11, totals 227.5. And despite this rather large number, that's what I was trying to say, rather large number. I think the Sixers should be able to cover here. They're a top 3 point producing team on their home court. And of course, they've got the league's top scorer in Joel Embiid. He's averaging a league-high 34 points a game, and he also snags nearly a dozen boards a night. Now, Tyrese Maxey's second on the roster in points, and he's drilling 40% of his long balls. Now, they're facing a Bulls club who struggles guarding the three-pointer on the road. And when it comes to grabbing rebounds, well, they don't do that well either. They're a bottom 5 defensive rebounding team on the road. Caruso and Craig are doubtful. Levine's still out. Chicago saw their last 5 straight all get over the total. 9-1 to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Philadelphia went 80% to the over in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Sixers minus 11 over 227.5. All right, next matchup I have for you. It is going to be Rockets Cavaliers. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Cleveland's the 4.5 point favorite, totals 214. Now, the Cavaliers do have a winning record at home. And they play some pretty good defense there. Cleveland's in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage on their own court. And they're facing a Rockets team who's a completely different club when they're on the road. These guys lost 9 of 11 in their travels, and they're a bottom 5 point producing team on the road. Now, injury-wise, Thompson's questionable, Oladipo's out. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, Jerome Garland and Mobley, they're inactive for them. 7 out of the Cavs' last 10 ball games stayed under the total. Unders against the likes of the Magic, Heat, and Pistons. Meanwhile, the Rockets are 65% to the under for the entire season. Give me Cleveland minus 4.5, under 214. Next game, Clippers, Pacers, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. The LA Clippers are the 3-point favorite, totals 243.5. Now, the Red Hot Clippers are on a 7-game winning streak, and they probably won't have to deal with Tyrese Halliburton either here tonight. There's a good chance of that. The Pacers' top scorer is questionable with a knee. And I'll tell you, that's certainly good news for the Clippers because they may have a chance at outscoring these guys. They are a top 10 3-point shooting team. And of course, the Pacers on the other side, they can't stop anyone. Indiana's dead last in guarding the three-pointer. Of course, they're letting their opponents make 51% of their field goals against them. That's a league worst as well. Now, injury-wise, once again, top scorer Tyrese Halliburton is questionable with a knee. Smith and Nembhard are out. Meanwhile, for the Clippers, Highland's questionable, Diabate's inactive. 3 out of the Clippers' last 4 ball games did get over the total. Overs against the likes of the Knicks, Warriors, and Blazers. Meanwhile, Indy saw 3 out of their last 4 get over the number themselves. 9-3 to the over in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Give me the Clippers -3 over 243.5. Next contest, Hornets, Raptors, 7:30 Eastern start time. Toronto's -11, totals 225. And for a team laying 11 points in this spot here, the Raptors aren't playing great basketball. They lost 7 out of their last 9, and they're a terrible shooting team. They have the second lowest free throw percentage in the NBA. They're also in the bottom 5 in the East in three-pointers made per game. Now, they're facing a Charlotte team who continues to battle late in games. And believe it or not, this is a top 3-point producing team in the fourth quarter. Terry Rozier is drilling nearly 40% of his three-pointers. He is the active roster's leader in points. Meanwhile, Miles Bridges, he's dropping just about 20 points a game himself. When it comes to the injury report, Hayward, Washington, and Williams are questionable. Ball and Martin are still out. Meanwhile, for Toronto on the other side, Christian Koloko has once again been scratched. 3 out of Toronto's last 4 ball games got over the total. Meanwhile, Charlotte is 70% to the over on the road this year. Give me the Hornets +11 over 225. Next game, Pistons, Hawks, 7:30 p.m. East. Atlanta's -11.5, totals 245. And for a team laying double digits in this spot here, the Hawks do have significant problems on D. They're allowing more points a game at home than any other team besides one. When it comes to covering the point spread, these guys have been pretty bad at that. They failed to cover in all of their home games this year except for one. And as horrible as Detroit is, there is one thing they do well, and that's rebound the basketball. These guys are actually one of the best road rebounding teams in the game. All-Star Thompson averages nearly double-digit rebounds a night. Meanwhile, Bojan Bogdanovic, he scores over 20 points a game himself. And he's drilling 40% of his three-pointers. Now, injury-wise, Stewart and Duren are out for Detroit. A.J. Griffin's been scratched for Atlanta. Also for the Hawks, Capella, Hunter, and Bogdan Bogdanovic, they are questionable for them as well. Now, the Hawks went 6-2 to the over in their last 8. They're also 80% to the over at the State Farm Center. Meanwhile, Detroit went 62% to the over in their travels. Give me the Pistons +11.5 over 245. Next contest I have for you, it is going to be Timberwolves Heat, 7:30 p.m. East. Miami's the 1-point favorite, totals 217. Now, the Heat, they haven't been great defensively at home. They've actually got the second worst defensive field goal percentage at home in the NBA. And unfortunately for them, Minnesota's a top 5 field goal shooting team in the West. Karl Anthony Towns makes 43% of his 3 balls, 22 points a night for Towns. Meanwhile, Naz Reid and Mike Conley, they're drilling over 40% of their 3-pointers collectively. But I'll tell you, the real strength of this Minnesota team this year has been their defense. They allow a league-low 105 points a game. Now, injury-wise, Kyle Lowry's out. Adebayo and Hero are questionable. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, Edwards and McDaniels are day-to-day for them. Jalen Clark's also been scratched. 6 out of Minnesota's last 9 ball games fell under the total. Unders against the likes of the Pacers, Mavericks, and Spurs. Meanwhile, Miami saw 3 out of their last 4 against the Western Conference stay under the line. Give me the T-Wolves +1 under 217. All right, next contest, Grizzlies, Thunder, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. OKC's 10.5, totals 229 and a hook. Now, Oklahoma City, they average over $120 a game, and they are the best free throw shooting team in the league. And when it comes to shooting the basketball, OKC's got the second highest three-point percentage in the NBA as well. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averages a team best 30 points a night. Isaiah Joe's drilling 42% of his long balls. And they're facing an ice-cold Grizzlies team who can't defend the 3-ball themselves. They're letting their competition make 40% of their long balls against them. But the real issue with Memphis this year has been their offensive performance. These guys are currently dead last in point production. Now, injury-wise, Clark, Kennard, Smart, and Rose are out. Biyombo is questionable. 3 out of the Grizzlies' last 4 ball games got over the total. Overs against the likes of the Mavericks and Timberwolves. Meanwhile, OKC went 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Give me Thunder, minus 10.5. Over 229 and a hook. Next contest, Nets, Jazz, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Brooklyn's -4 away from home, totals 234. And even though this isn't a huge number for Brooklyn, well, the Nets have struggled in the past couple of games. They lost 3 out of their last 4, and they really don't travel well. Brooklyn's got a losing record away from home, and they're allowing over 120 points a night in those road games. And they're facing a Utah team on the other side who does tend to score well at home. And even if they miss their shots, well, the Jazz tend to get it right back on offense. They're a top 3 offensive rebounding team in their own building. Lauri Markkanen snags over 8 rebounds a night. Is also averaging a team-high 23 points a game as well. Meanwhile, Kelly Olynyk knocks down 43% of his three-pointers. And out of 12 contests in Salt Lake City this year, the Jazz covered the point spread in 75% of those games. Now, injury-wise, Collins, Samanik, Yurtseven, and George are questionable. Clarkson's still out. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, Dennis Smith and DFS, they are both questionable. Lonnie Walker's still inactive with that hammy. Now, total-wise, the Nets saw overs recently against the likes of the Warriors, Kings, and Magic. Meanwhile, 5 out of Utah's last 7 got over the total themselves. Give me the Jazz +4 over 234. All right, next ball game, Mavs, Nuggets, 9 o'clock East. Denver's 7.5 at home, totals 238. And even though the Nuggets are favored by a couple of baskets, they haven't really been great at covering at home. They've covered in just 40% of their in-conference home games. We're also looking at the worst free throw shooting team in the game. The Nuggets shoot a league low 72% from the stripe. And you're going to have to be built for a track meet when you face Dallas because these guys make more three-pointers a game than anyone else. Luka Doncic leads the Western Conference in scoring, 9 assists a game for Luka as well. Of course, Grant Williams, he's drilling 40% of his attempts from downtown. Now, when it comes to covering the number, the Mavs are covering in 70% of their in-conference road games. And when it comes to the injury list, Holmes is questionable, Kleba, Irving, and Lively are out. Meanwhile, for Denver on the other side, Gordon, Murray, and KCP, they're listed as questionable for them. Now, the Nuggets, they've gone 60% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Dallas is 10-3 to the over in their travels. Give me the Mavericks +7.5 over 238. Next ball game, Wizards, Kings, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Sacramento's -12.5, totals 245. Now, the Kings aren't playing good enough defensively to cover here, in my opinion. They're a bottom 5 point-allowing team at home. And what a lot of people don't realize about Washington is, well, they've got little problems getting to the basket. I know it doesn't, translate into wins, but these guys are in the top 5 in the NBA in made field goals per game. Kyle Kuzma scores a team-high 23 points a night. Jordan Poole's second on the roster in scoring. When it comes to covering the point spread, the Wizards are covering in 60% of their road trips. Now, injury-wise, Shamit's questionable for Washington. De'Aaron Fox day-to-day for Sacramento. 7 out of the Kings' last 10 ball games got over the number. They're also 75% to the over at the Golden One Center. The Wizards on the other side, they've gone 64% to the over for the entire season. Give me the Wizards +12.5 over 245. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Going to be in that Knicks-Lakers game, 10:30 p.m. East. The Lakers are -5, totals 231.5. Now, the Lakers have been really tough to beat at home. They're 11-2 in front of their own crowd, and they've been really tough to score against in their own building. They're in the top 3 in defensive points per game at home. Now, they're facing a Knicks team who has certainly struggled in their West Coast road trips. They've lost 4 of 5 against the Western Conference away from home this year. When it comes to shooting the basketball, the Knicks are a bottom 10 field goal shooting team. Now, injury-wise, Mitchell Robinson's still out for another few weeks. LeBron, AD, and Christian Wood are questionable for Los Angeles. Now, 4 out of the Lakers' last 7 did stay under the total. Meanwhile, LA's also 10-3 to the under this year in their own building. Give me the Lakers -5, under 231.5. And with that, folks, now it is time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Sixers -11, over 227.5. Cleveland -4.5, under 214. LA Clippers -3, over 243.5. I'm hitting at 90% my last 11 chairman package picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another chairman package pick going off here today. The link for my site is in my bio. Charlotte Hornets +11, over 225. Pistons +11.5, over 245. Timberwolves +1, under 217. OKC -10.5, over 229 and a hook. Utah Jazz +4, over 234. Mavericks +7.5, over 238. Wizards +12.5, over 245. And with my next and final free pick for the video, give me the Lakers -5, under 231.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, guys, you also get access to my Chairman Podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.